Breaking news coming in the last couple of minutes because it's now being reported that WWE Hall of Famer Edge has been removed from the internal WWE roster with the belief in some circles that he is headed to All Elite Wrestling. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling, and a big developing and breaking news story this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you are in the world regarding WWE Hall of Famer and possibly former WWE superstar, the Rated R superstar himself, Edge, after his contract is set to expire. He had his final match on his contract recently in his hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, on SmackDown against Sheamus. There is a belief now in some circles, certainly, that he could be possibly going to AEW. Let's get straight into this news story because, as I said, at the time of recording, this is developing and ongoing. According to Mike Johnson from PW Insider, he has reported in the last couple of minutes that WWE Hall of Famer Adam Edge Copeland has been removed from WWE's internal roster. That is a report straight from PW Insider. Now, this is where it gets really interesting as well, because PW Insider's report continues on by saying, quote, "There is a belief in certain circles that he may be AEW bound." Now, as of right now, we can actually get this up on the screen. Edge is still listed on WWE's website. You can see him listed alongside several WWE superstars there. So he is still listed on the website, but internally, he is no longer listed as an active performer for the company. He wrestled what was publicly discussed as the last match on his WWE contract in August against Sheamus on SmackDown in Copeland's hometown of Toronto, but had since blown off the idea that he was leaving the company, citing that he had a new contract extension waiting for him in his inbox if he chose to sign it. Now, as I mentioned, there's been a lot of discussion about what's going to be happening with Edge's future. There was a discussion that he might just generally retire, or he could possibly stay with WWE, do an extra couple of years. He could go to AEW. Since news broke that Edge's deal was up, there has been a belief among some in WWE that he could be headed to AEW, where of course he could reunite with longtime friend and tag team partner Christian Cage. Now, there is still no word yet on whether AEW has talked with Edge, nor what Edge actually wants to do. If it's possible that Edge, could retire again, or he could still re-sign with WWE. But the latest right now is that he has been removed from the WWE internal roster, and the belief is he could be headed to AEW. Certainly that is what some people are saying some people in certain circles are saying, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider. Now, there had actually been some speculation regarding Edge possibly staying on in WWE because of an intro video for SmackDown on Friday on Fox. Now, despite rumors and speculation that he could be AEW bound once his contract expired, Edge was included in the new SmackDown intro on Friday night. Edge was shown prominently at the 27 mark of the intro, which begged the question of whether he would be included if WWE officials thought he had planned to go elsewhere. Certainly, it is curious that he was included in this new or updated intro, certainly, and then just a few days later now, the suggestion is he's been removed from the WWE internal roster. Now, as I mentioned, the Rated R superstar himself confirmed last month on the FEN morning show that his WWE contract expires at the end of September. We're about halfway through the month now. He didn't specify an exact date, it must be said. He also previously stated that the bout against Sheamus on the August 18 episode of SmackDown in his hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, was the final match on his current contract. Now, this is where it got really interesting back then, because shortly thereafter, PW Torch's Wade Keller reported that Edge had, quote, presented to WWE what it would take to retain his services, but WWE declined to meet his request, end quote. It was also reported that Edge likely already had knowledge of what kind of deal he could get with All Elite Wrestling, and that people within WWE expected Edge to sign with AEW at the conclusion of his contract. But Edge kind of pushed back on this because shortly after that report coming out, just the morning after, Edge quickly responded with a video on social media in which he refuted much of what had been reported. Sitting from his porch, he said, quote, "There's nothing going on. There's no hard feelings between me and WWE. I love WWE. It's my dream gig. It's all I've ever wanted to do. I didn't come up there with some crazy contract or anything. They didn't deny me. I have a contract extension sitting in my inbox. I just don't know what to do." Edge added that he felt the match against Sheamus would be tough to top and suggested that retiring from an in-ring competition is on the table, as is signing a new deal with WWE. He didn't actually say or talk about going elsewhere, but he kind of refuted the reports that there had been maybe a falling out with WWE or a difference of opinion with the promotion. Based on what Edge has said, and he is still technically under contract right now, according to Edge's own words anyway, his inclusion in the video on SmackDown on Friday wasn't necessarily out of the ordinary, but again, the new developments that he's been removed from the internal roster certainly has led a lot of people curious. However, since those who make such graphics are likely given specific instructions on who to include and who not to include, the speculation on Edge possibly remaining in WWE at the time was certainly understandable, no doubt about that. However, many pointed out that actually it was quite similar to previous SmackDown intros, and it could have just been a case of the old intro with a few new clips added in, a few people taken out, a few people added in, and Edge might have just been added in because they thought, well, there's been no new update, we'll just leave it as that. But the fact that a new intro debuts or an updated intro drops on Friday, and now on Wednesday it's reported he's been removed from the roster, certainly has led a lot of people to be curious. But it goes back to also as well this narrative that Edge just could retire in general. He might have been removed from the internal WWE roster because he's thinking about retiring. After his match against Edge, he spoke to his hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada in the middle of the ring on SmackDown, and he said, quote, "What I can say is this is my last time in front of you," he said to a chorus of boos from his hometown crowd of Toronto. "I don't think I could make it a fool to get here again for another match. I'm just being honest with you." Edge also instructed the crowd to not let that be a downer because the fans gave him an amazing experience. He will never forget it. He said, quote, "And when I'm 84 years old and I don't remember much, you're damn sure I'm going to remember this," he said before thanking the crowd and walking out of the ring to his theme music. Now, WWE later uploaded an official clip of this, again, leading to people think that he could be possibly retiring. Before the match, Edge had addressed the retirement rumors, saying SmackDown was the final match on his WWE contract. Again, as of this recording right now, there's been no confirmation on what Edge is going to do, but it certainly is very, very, very significant that the latest report is that, again, he has been removed from WWE's internal roster, and it's led to the speculation now will continue. The speculation has been ongoing for the last several weeks about Edge, about what he will do next in his pro wrestling career as his deal with WWE expires at the end of this month. So the question then becomes, guys, what do you think happens with Edge? What do you think about this report that he has been removed from the internal WWE roster? Is this just par for the course because his contract is set to expire and there hasn't been a resolution just yet? Do you think there is some merit to the speculation in some circles that he may be AEW bound? Do you think that's what's best for Edge's career? Do you think Edge could go into AEW just to do one retirement match against Christian Cage? Is that possibly what he's looking to do? Or would he do a run that could last a year, maybe even longer? Let me know your thoughts about all of it in the comment section below. This will be a developing news story. If we get any more details on the future of Edge, we'll let you know. Of course, it is Wednesday. You know what that means. Another episode of AEW Dynamite on TBS. The likelihood of Edge appearing tonight on TBS feels unlikely, considering he said his contract expires at the end of the month, but certainly anything is possible. So let me know your thoughts, guys, as always, in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.